Bank. Then
Oh yeah.
one of my first sales managers that believed in me when I originated.
Bruce.
You remember Bruce?
Yeah, he was yeah. I used to look up to him. He didn't know it, but
Yeah, I
'cause he
looked up
was-
to him too.
Yeah, he was getting it.
He was getting it. He was so inspirational and inspiring.
They always
We
wore
follow
suits.
each other. Yeah,
I didn't.
they was always clean.
I cannot wear no suit even today. All right, 7:01. Are you ready?
Love said, stop lying. You know you curse. We have to be good for the church folks, baby.
Shit, love. I don't be cussing.
Let's get started, Daddy.
Hold on,
Let me give our disclaimer.
Tasha. How long you been doing this?
For a minute.
Okay.
I be jumping the gun.
Yes, you do. All right, you hit.
I have a little bit
You
of
ready?
anxiety today.
Yes, you do, and we're gonna tell everybody why. Hold on.
Okay. Hey, everybody. Thank y'all for tuning in. Look at him
Not
putting
yet.
his hand up.
Not
And
yet.
your hand all the way over here on my screen.
Hold on. Let's start over.
Come
Tasha,
on.
you got to know when to come in.
Okay, you got to point me in, Daddy.
Shh. Hey, Meredith.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to our podcast. We do this every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. This
20 years of
is
counting.
20 years and counting. It's where Michael and I talk about marriage and relationships. We have conversations about it. We do all kind of dig about it. We talk
What
about
you mean digs about it? What that
we
mean?
get on each other.
Yeah, we do.
Very authentic and transparent with this podcast. It is therapeutic for us. We
It's
love
very
it.
therapeutic. I think that's the one thing we can say. I
Yeah.
look forward to Wednesdays
We do.
so we can just release. People ask me, you know what? People have started to ask me, Latasha, is y'all prepare for your show? I say, no, you was about to jump in.
Go ahead.
And I would say we really don't.
No.
We'll come up with a topic on what we're going to talk
Right.
about. We'll get the picture out. You know what I'm saying? We'll do our picture, whatever we're going to post. But the concept of what we're going to talk about, and then
Right.
everything from there
Flows.
is authentic. You know what I'm
It
saying?
flows. And mainly because, Danny, we've been in each other's life for so long. We feed off of each other, and it just works for us. We kind of know each other very, very well. And so even when we have something that we want to talk about, because we have great conversations even when we're not doing our podcast.
That's true. And we're going to tell you about, y'all stick around the whole show because around 7:27 today, I'm going to tell you how I read the hell out of Latasha on Saturday. Was that Saturday?
It was Saturday.
Yeah. That was,
Share the feed, y'all. But what we like to say is that we are not marriage counselors.
Nope.
What we do on this podcast is we talk about our experiences being in a relationship and being married. 23 years in November, been together for 26 years. And we hope the information can help people. We believe in love. We believe in marriage. We believe in great relationships. We are all for that.
Time out.
That's why we talk about it.
But I'm saying, you talking about we believe in love. You sound like some of them other podcasts out there. Don't do that.
Okay.
Don't do that.
But we also don't take ourselves too seriously.
I think what we do is we believe in making this work. You know what I'm saying? I was asked recently, or they talk about it. Shout out to Cindy and the Unbroken Experience because one question she asked every guest on marriage overrated. That's one of the questions that she asked. And I think the first time she asked me that question, I said, yes, it is. To me, personally, it's overrated. And the reason why is because, and when I explained it to her, everybody in the room like, I understand what you're saying.
To me, why you think marriage is overrated?
Because what I told them, and it was me.
Okay.
I didn't need to be married to know that I was going to be with you the rest of my life. I didn't need a pastor blessing us. I didn't need the exchanging of rings. I didn't need us, on the marriage license to do all the kind of stuff. The marriage is not what makes me stay. Right. What makes me stay is what we're able to build and grow into in the legacy that we're able to leave after we're not here, because that's what it's all about. Because like you said, I laugh because you said, because we love each other. It's a little bigger than love. You know what I'm saying?
For us, it is. I mean, you can people, but dealing with somebody, and that just flows right into our topic. You can love people, but can you accept their flaws?
Right.
Can you admit your flaws? And can you be graciously okay with that? and that's a hard
It's
thing
very hard.
for a lot of people.
I think it's easier for me.
It is to admit your flaws, Daddy.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it's easy for me to admit my flaws. And I'm gonna be honest with you, Latasha Dushan McFadden.
That's what this is all about.
That's something tough for you.
Yeah.
You can't.
But I need to be able to explain myself. And I have to
The
be
mic
honest.
is on.
I have to be honest. I've always prided myself on, what I bring to the table and, all the things that I am to you and what I do for this family and how I take care of this family. But me personally, I would be lying or I would be remiss if I do not admit that I am a handful, and I will be, I will graciously bow down and admit that I am and can be a handful. And so flaws for me are pretty hard to accept, if I'm just being honest.
No, that's fine. You can be honest.
And the reason, my reasoning for that is that I intentionally never ever try to do anything to hurt, or anything to disrespect my family in any kind of way.
But it may not be intentional.
Right.
It may not be intentional, but when we talk about our flaws, most of the time when we don't, what you laughing for?
Love to my, she got a black card. I can deal with all kinds of flaws.
Don't get caught up in Love's comments. Please don't, because he'll have you distracted the whole show. Okay. But when we talk about the flaws, like you said, sometimes they're unintentional, but what you say is, and you said it, I'm gonna use this against you. You keep saying I don't do things to intentionally do anything to someone.
Right.
You're not doing it. However, how does that make the other person feel?
And
you know what I'm saying? Because
hard...
it's not all about you. One thing we always talk about, one of your biggest flaws. Can I say it? You don't know what I'm about to say because we don't rehearse this stuff.
But bring it out.
But one of your biggest flaws for me is you always saying what you wouldn't have done in a situation. Like, for instance, our new living quarters.
Yes.
Okay. This is the first time we've ever not owned a house since 1996.
Right.
And you always say, I wouldn't have done that. I wouldn't have done this. I wouldn't have done that. Right.
What do you mean within our living quarter? Like because we're in a shared space now?
Yes. Because
there's things I don't like.
Right. That you say
I can't really control, but I will say.
But you expect everybody to live up to your standards. And that's a big flaw for you, Latasha.
That is.
Because, and what do I always say? Everybody's not you. They're not going to do the same thing as you, but you can't hold that against them.
Right. But that part of me, Daddy, is a part of quote unquote me being a perfectionist.
Right. And that goes back to a flaw. Is that a flaw?
It is to me in a way that I like for things to be perfect. It's not easy for me to adapt to things that are not the way that they're supposed to be.
Let's stop right there. You said to adapt to the way things are not supposed to be in your standards.
Right.
Because you don't know everybody else's standard.
I know.
But you can't hold it. Then that's not, if people don't uphold the standards the same way you do, that does not make them wrong.
No, I'm not saying it make them wrong, but it makes them less likely to be around me. You see what you dig?
No, I got you.
You dig what I'm saying?
I got you.
So if people are not the way that I like, because I am 50, soon to be 51.
Okay, we know.
There's a lot that I will not accept.
Cougar.
That I used to accept. So no, I understand that everybody's not going to be like me, but I also understand that those are people that I don't really have to deal with because I don't love them. I'm not in a relationship. I'm not married to them like I am with you. So some people's flaws, I don't have to deal with their flaws, Dad. I don't. But I have tried. Now, will you say, Daddy, that I've gotten a little better?
Of course, we've been together for so long. Of course, because if you would not have gotten better, there would be no 20 years in counting. I would have dropped your ass off in '96 after the Olympics.
I doubt it.
And Crunk Freaknik back
I doubt
up.
it. I doubt it.
I would have been
seriously doubt it.
I would have been Freaknik CEO back then.
I doubt it.
But no, of course you've corrected and not corrected, but of course you change your ways because, like we always talk about on the show, it's about accommodating the other person, and I think we've done a great job, and we're still here. But like I said, one of the biggest things is everybody's not going to have the same standard that you have, and you can't hold it against them.
Right.
And I always talk about religion. When I talk about religion, I always say, like, one of my biggest flaws when we talk about religion is the fact that other people look at other religions as if they're wrong.
Right.
And that's not the case.
It's not the case. It's just what they believe.
That's what they believe. I always say, and I always say this, y'all. An extreme Islamic person believes if I blow this building up, if I kill these people, my God says that I will get 40 virgins. That's what they believe.
And I will be held at the highest regard.
Exactly. That's what they believe. And they do it because that's what they believe in.
Right.
Murder is wrong. I don't care on what platform you say.
Right.
However,
that's what they believe.
That's what they believe. That's what they believe. And they will die for it.
Right.
So now when we talk about our flaws,
no,
I definitely don't have to agree with it. But I'm saying from a principle, like we were saying, like if I don't see me having a flaw,
right,
but other people do, I got to address that. You know what I'm saying?
And I think in a relationship, Daddy,
especially in a relationship,
and in a marriage, when you're accountable for someone else,
right?
You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna be by yourself, your flaws probably can be your flaws.
And the thing about it, when you by yourself, you probably don't know their flaws because nobody's
there so used to doing.
Nobody's there to give you feedback. Nobody's there to give you feedback. Yep.
But when you're in a relationship and you're in a marriage, you do have to accept that you have flaws, admit that you have flaws, and work on them. For me, I will say that has always been hard for me.
Mm-hmm.
It has always been hard for me to accept them, not necessarily work on them, but I've always kind of pushed my beliefs and pushed my ways on the people that I love.
Else.
Yes. So my standards are extremely high. And so I've always pushed that on the people that I love, i.e. kids, i.e. husband, i.e. you say my sister act just like me. So, a lot of people pick up on it and they just kind of blend into what I'm doing.
Because we can pick and choose what it is that we want to pull. Because if it's something that's going to work for me, then yes, it's like going to a conference, going to a motivational conference or going to a leadership conference, and the guy's up there talking 100% of the time, but you only grab 10% of what that person said and uses it. So now the thing is, what part of it am I going to use to better myself? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because for us, I'll bring up the Janie King.
Right.
I'll bring up the Janie King. We had the Janie King for 10 years.
We did. We had a commercial cleaning company for 10 years. And basically, you did it because I wanted to do it.
Right.
And I was looking for another stream of income.
And as much as you said,
hey, Matt. Hey, Karen. Hey, Leslie.
Oh, that's Matt over there.
Yeah.
Matt.
Street tomorrow.
I'm checking that time, Matt. I am checking that time.
Ready.
Matt, I'm starting in D. Just FYI, partner.
Yes,
I'm sure you're not in D.
716.
I'm sure you back in N.
I'm in J.
W or something.
And Michael not gonna stress me out about being in J.
But we talk about our flaws, and we talk about this Janie King, the commercial cleaning company franchise that I
purchased. Right.
10 years. We
kept it for 10 years. We did.
You did your best to make me believe that this was our business and this was going to take us to the next level. Won't. You couldn't sell me on that.
No.
You could not sell me on that.
You and Malik would never buy into it.
No. Oh, I'm going to be the best. If you're going to clean, then you're going to be the best. No, don't give me that bullshit. I'm not doing it. But that's how you do.
Because for me, it was hours. So I'm thinking in my mind,
once
Give
again,
them, yes, give them more than what they expect of you. And so being the perfectionist that I am, I would go behind y'all if I didn't think y'all was cleaning good. I mean, I would, and that's one of my flaws. I will correct you. I'm bad on correcting you, because if it's not the way that I want it to be, I'd rather do it myself. That's hard. It's something I have to work on. Even with Malik, there was things that I would tell him to do, but if it wasn't done to my standards, Daddy, I will easily go behind you and do it myself. And that's a flaw.
Where do you think that comes from?
I think that it has to do with that perfectionist mentality, Daddy. Perfection is, and I'm not saying it is not the best thing, because perfectionists, when I've done research on perfectionists, we don't let things roll off our shoulder. We're not very adaptable to things that are not the way that we want them to be. There's a lot of flaws with that. And so I work on that constantly, because I recognize that is me. How have you dealt with me being your wife and being in a relationship with me for all these years, knowing that I am a perfectionist? How do you deal with that?
Just ignore it.
That's
that's not true. I think I said it earlier, because I just pick and choose, because I know the intentions are the good intentions are there.
Right.
I pick and choose because I know the information that you're putting out is very valuable. What you're saying is very valuable to you, and I don't want to downplay that. However, I'm not going to convert just because you want to.
Right.
And going back to the cleaning business, we kept it for 10 years.
Right.
I kept it for 10 years. And this goes back to when
you grind it for 10 years.
When we go back and we say making each other happy,
yes.
that's giving 100% versus 100%. You know, each person giving 100%. That goes back to what we've been saying since day one, since we started 20 years and counting. That's the main thing. So I knew how important that this franchise was to Latasha, that I'm going to give you, I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna show up. However, the one thing that you're not gonna do is you're not the fact that I gotta be the best fucking cleaner in the world. That's not gonna work. My mindset is this. Okay, we got this building. It took me an hour and a half. It took us an hour and a half to clean it the first time. How can I clean it in 1 hour, 27 minutes the next time? And now my mindset is, how do I get this shit to 30 minutes?
Yes.
That's my mindset.
And you always say, this is not rocket science.
It's not. This is
clean.
Toilets. I'm sorry if I cursed.
I am a perfectionist. And so I wanted it to be pretty much perfect. Can I talk about one of your flaws, Daddy?
Preach, shout it. Yours not censored. This is your show. You are the co-host.
One of the things that I've always had to remind you of, and always had to say, constantly, is you can't tell me how to think.
Oh,
yes. Because you adapt to situations. And people, let me just say this. Let me preface this by saying, when you're in a marriage and when you're in a relationship, understand that there's two personalities. Okay. So the personalities, very rarely are they exact. One person on one hand, like me, I am analytical, I am to the point, I am a perfectionist, where on the other hand, my husband is a true optimist. He's, he has charisma. He goes through this thing called life with a certain ease. You understand what I'm saying? Me, I'm a worrywart. There's different things about me. Our personalities are different.
You worried about tomorrow already?
I am. I have anxiety about it. But I have always had to tell Michael, because he handles situations totally different than the way I do, but he's always had this knack, or always felt like he can express to me how he's feeling about a situation, and I should feel the same way. That's wrong. Do not do that to your significant other or your spouse.
You can't do that. That was a mistake I made for
Michael
a long
did
time.
that a long time. He used to try to tell me how to feel. And I used to say to him, Michael, Daddy, Alexander, you cannot tell me
you
how
call
to
all
feel.
My names out?
Yeah, about any given situation.
But I think I wasn't attempting to tell you how to feel. What I was doing was I was What you laughing for?
I want to see your answer.
Oh, okay. Oh, Purple, you know I do radio, so
I
you
know.
know I know how
Bring
to
it.
spin this shit.
Bring
I know
it.
how to spin it.
Bring it.
I wasn't attempting to tell you how I felt. What I was doing was I was trying to put the way I felt onto you.
Right.
I wasn't telling you how to feel.
But that's how it always came
But
off.
that's how I understand that now. That's how it is.
So you cannot do that with your spouse.
But you know
or your
what though?
significant
Here's
other.
the deal though. And I figured it out way before then. But I'll give the listeners a prime example.
Give it.
We sold the house 2 years ago, right?
We sold the house in June.
Shout out to
of
Nikita Todd, boy.
2017.
17. That's 2 years ago. A little
Right.
bit over 2 years ago. 25 months ago.
Yeah.
We had a estate sale. We had several estate sales.
About 3.
To get rid of all of the furniture that we had collected over 13 years for this house, right? And we talking about some good
Oh
shit.
my
If y'all
God.
ever want to see what the skills of this lady right here, 3004 Robinson Forest Court, Google it, Powder Springs, Georgia, on Zillow, and you will see the interior of the house. We had to sell everything in the house.
Just about.
Damn near everything.
Yeah. I only took a few pieces with me.
I say that to say when we talk about how not to put your feelings onto your or try to make your spouse feel a certain way. Pollo,
Yes.
Pollo, I love Pollo to death. He was our punch out guy. He would come and do all the work for us that we needed around the house. The last estate sale we had, shit was just going out the house.
Oh my God.
Chairs.
Oh my God.
Dinette sets, cabinets. Everything is just leaving out the house.
All this beautiful stuff.
All this
that
beautiful
I had
stuff.
purchased and decorated for years. And when I say every room,
every single room,
everything was together.
We had 7 bedrooms, y'all. This is a 4,000 square foot house, 7 bedrooms, 4 full bathrooms. We sold damn near everything. There was a moment
that house was decorated.
There was a moment as Tasha is standing in the living room. No, what was that area called?
We was on the loft, the foyer.
No, we were in the living room with the big window.
Okay.
What is that called? The living room?
That was a formal living room.
The formal living room. Tasha starts to cry.
Yes.
She starts to cry. And as I walk into the house, helping somebody take furniture out of the house, Pollo is standing right there talking to Tasha. Was like, it's okay. It's leaving. It's fine. You're gonna be okay. I told Pollo,
"Ooh, don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Do not do that."
To cuss Pollo ass out.
I know you was.
I was about to read the shit out of Pollo. Excuse my friend.
The church people listening. You can't freaking cuss, mom.
But
the thing was, back then, before I understood how not to project how I felt on her, I understood to tell my partner,
right,
yo, Pollo, don't do that. You don't understand.
Because for you, Daddy, it was more of a release.
Yes, for me,
it was like an unloading of all this stuff. We were downsizing. Our kid, Malik, was at Auburn. We didn't need the space. It was like a big relief. For me, it was almost like, y'all, letting go.
Yeah.
It was like, it was really, really hard for me to let go. I knew we didn't need the house anymore. I knew we didn't need all the stuff we had, but it was still tough to let it all go.
And for me, that's a flaw.
Right.
I think that's a flaw. But then, like the topic that we're having tonight, how do you deal with flaws? And like I said, I recognize it, and I recognized it way before 25 months ago. I recognized it before then, but you have to discover, once you understand the flaws and you see the flaw of your spouse and y'all talk about it, how do you deal with it? Because one,
you
got to
be comforting,
and you can't
change
them.
Understanding.
You can't.
No, and that's something our listeners need to know. I know a lot of times when you get in relationships and when you're in a marriage, you think that you can change people.
Tell Love stay off my feet. Love, go back on Tasha's feet. He's talking about she was crying because she saw you pull up. No, she didn't.
Hey, Bob. Hey, Mandel. But you gotta go in it knowing, Daddy, that there's some things you've got to accept, about your significant other and about your spouse. You cannot change things, or you can't change that person's makeup. Like a lot of what I got inside of me, that's hereditary. It comes from it comes from, my dad's side of the family, my mom's side of the family. It comes from a lot of a makeup. And so to say that you can change me or make me feel, get rid of flaws, or make me just do away with flaws. No, me, if you love me enough to be in this relationship and marry me and want to build a life with me, those flaws, some of those you have to accept.
You have to accept them. But on the flip side of it, though, Tasha, you have to listen to the person on the other side.
Right.
And if it's that big of a deal, you got to work it out to where
Right.
somebody's going to have to sacrifice something.
I
I think we
agree.
talked about it last week.
I
Somebody
agree.
has to
I
sacrifice
totally agree.
something.
Right.
We were talking about the IPA deal last week. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Was that last week?
Yeah.
We talking about how, sometimes
You can only
before I
have
knew, I can have as many as I freaking want to because I'm grown. I'll be 50 years old next year. I can drink what the hell I want to drink. However, I understand that somebody has to make some sacrifices in there. And the thing about it is, too, you can't use that as an excuse.
No.
You can't say, oh, that's just one of my flaws. You're going to have to deal with it. No, I'm not going to accept that.
No.
I am not going to accept that.
And you shouldn't expect for your significant other to expect that. You can't. I mean, that's just like me saying, okay, I don't know if I can stay out of a strip club, or I don't know if I can stop smoking weed, or I don't know if I can stop, I don't know if I can do that. If you know that's something that your spouse or your significant other is not comfortable with, if you want to be with that person, Daddy, you got to work on it.
You got to work on it.
For me, those things are a flaw. For you, it may not be.
It might not be. That might just be
but
who I am.
It's a flaw for me because I don't indulge in those
so
things.
now, if it's a flaw for your spouse or your significant other, what do? Are you going to work it? That's how you get to 20 years and counting.
That's how you get there.
Because if not, if you don't address it, you'll never make it.
You'll never make it.
You will never make it.
You will never make it.
Because now, I mean, let's think about it. And then this is real talk. When we first got together, one of the biggest things that you had a problem with me was I was gone all the time.
Right.
And when I talk about gone, I mean just very unproductive gone.
In the streets, just gone. Just hanging out.
And this was in 90, what we met in 93,
hanging out.
94, 93, 94 when we first met.
Hanging with your boys, just out.
I can't read Love's comments. I'm sorry.
Just out.
But back then, I was just gone, just unproductive.
Right.
But now, 2019, I'm gone. However, it's very strategic.
And it's productive.
And it's very productive.
But even at this point, Daddy, when you say that was a flaw before, we've grown so much. And so that's what you look for too. Growth in your relationships, growth in your marriage, that those things, it would never even be something we would even consider at this point in our relationship, being gone for no reason.
For no reason.
For no reason.
Right.
But I want to mention one more flaw. That I still
flaw on who?
On you, Daddy.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
And this and then
Time's running out. It's time
I'm
for
gonna cut
commercial.
my flaw. Daddy, you are a white liar.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah. I'll lie.
So
in a
your
minute.
lies. You're a compulsive liar.
Let me say this.
And the bad thing about it, it can be about nothing. It just rolls off your tongue. I think you've gotten so used to telling me what you think I want to hear.
Can I say this?
You are so good at it.
Can I? Love finally put something up here that I could read.
What'd he say?
He said the thought that you could ever be perfect is a flaw.
Yes.
I love that.
Oh, I love that. Love.
That was the best thing.
Nobody's perfect.
Love, I've been knowing you for over 30 years now. That is the freaking greatest thing you've ever said in your life, baby. But no, I love it. The thought that you could ever be perfect is a flaw.
We still
and he is so right about that.
Yes.
But yes, I think yes, I'm a compulsive liar.
It's not a serious lie.
LaDon McFadden told me that. Patricia McFadden told me that. Both my moms have told me that in the past. And I'll be honest with you, I don't know where the hell I got it from.
I think it's just like
I don't know.
It may even be part of your creativeness, Daddy.
It could be
I
Southeast.
I think it's your creativeness that you have an answer for everything. No, it may not be the right answer. Okay. It may not even be the correct answer. But you have an answer for everything.
You
and
know,
you'll be thinking you're doing nothing. But if I catch you in it, I calls your ass out every time.
so you know what's funny? This
Yes,
is so
Daddy.
funny because this new opportunity I got at the gig, right? I've been what 2 weeks, 3 weeks now. I'm learning so much from them. Like just in this little bit of time about what I do
Your
as
promotion, another promotion you got that you wasn't looking for.
but what I'm
Oh my
saying is
God.
like, so for 20 years of my life, I guess, you know, I worked as a sales trainer and speaker and all this other kind of
Agent
stuff.
and
Yeah, I did that part. No, I'm just saying from the
sales,
corporate level,
period. Yeah.
just speaking in front of people doing my thing. But I did it so organically to where it wasn't best. Like I freestyled it.
It just flowed.
Now working with this crew, this is what they do for a living.
It's more structured.
It's very, very structured, and I've learned so much about myself
because you never really had that structure. Because again, Daddy, you have been able to maneuver your way through this thing called life.
And it's not structured to a point to where somebody's holding me accountable and telling me what
Every
to do.
few minutes. You're not micromanaged.
Everybody that I work with now, they're feeding me information to make me a better person.
Right.
So now I think when we talk about having flaws with our spouses, our significant others, and the things that we're learning in relationships, that's what the role of the other person is to feed them information to help them get better. So now if I can't point out your flaws and talk about, hey, you know, and we talk about giving feedback before, like how do you give it to them? That's what makes the difference in your growth in your relationship.
Right. And try not to take it so seriously, Daddy. I think that's one of the things that help us out.
Yeah.
And that's just, you know, a tidbit that I'll give to our listeners and people in a relationship and a marriage. Definitely try not to make small things big.
Yeah.
You know, if there's small flaws, try not to pull them out of the water, you know, but try not to take things so seriously and work on helping each other through your flaws. And first of all, if you know you got flaws, admit them.
Yes.
Admit them. There's power in admitting your flaws. There really is. Because once you see it, once you say it and you address it, then you know that it's there.
Hey, tomorrow is the 4th of July.
Yes.
Y'all know that the Declaration of Independence was signed on July 4th, 1776. I'm not a really big Independence Day guy.
Whoop, whoop.
However,
we
do run the Peachtree Road Race.
Yes. I thought this was our 10th year running, and it is actually our 9th year running.
Oh, yeah, this will be the 9th year.
This is our 9th year running. And we're a little competitive.
Very competitive.
As we've gotten older, I'm not in my running prime, but I still try to give Michael a run for his money.
Not gonna happen.
But he will beat me.
I'm in D.
He's in D and I'm in J. Y'all, I thought I was in F.
No.
So when I put my letter out, he started talking about me. What? How you thought you was in F? You all the way back there in J. I said, J is not that far behind D, Daddy.
So last week,
he started counting the alphabet.
Peachtree Road time, that's about 20-30 minutes behind.
That is. At least 20 minutes.
And then the bad part about it, I gotta wait for her ass to finish.
Yes,
I would be done.
Leave me.
Sweat gonna be dried up.
Okay, talk about what happened.
Let me
set this up.
I do radio.
We love y'all. Please share the feed.
Stop it.
Okay, go ahead, Daddy.
So last week, Tasha got the last word. This week, I'm gonna get the last word because we're talking about flaws. I'm telling you, if this gets any worse, I'm sending her to a home. She's only 50.
My son's not gonna allow it.
It has nothing to do with him. So check this out, y'all. Last week, Saturday, I took my car. Stop interrupting.
Go ahead.
Let it go.
Go ahead.
Do I turn your mic? Turn your mic off.
Don't do that. Daddy, don't do that.
Last week, I dropped my car off to get service.
Right.
The place that services my car is literally right across the street.
Yes.
4-minute drive.
Yes.
So I take my car to drop it off to get it service. Wifey comes to pick me up.
Right.
We have to go back to the house because we gotta get changed and get ready to go out the dinner or whatever. Did I mention where I dropped the car off to get a service is right across the street from where we live? Okay.
Yes.
I said that part. So we pull into our garage, and when we pull into the garage, we have the first 2 parking spots in the garage. So when we pull up, the first thing Tasha notices is that my car is not in the reserved spot. Okay. So in her mind is, okay, Daddy, you ride with me, but your car's not there. What the fuck? Daddy,
freaked out.
She freaked out. Where's your car? Did you have a sticker out? They towed your car. And I let her vent. I didn't even say anything. I just let her vent. What were your words?
I said, oh my freaking God. Did you put your sticker out?
And then my words were, and quote me, are you fucking kidding me? And I opened up the door and I jumped out of the car. She had her top down so she could see me being very animated. I said, are you fucking kidding me? Tasha, we just dropped my car off to get serviced.
And y'all, when I tell you my brain, see, they have so much stuff on my brain, y'all.
No,
it
your
be
partner's
so much
flaws.
stuff on my brain. They be wearing me out. We was going to dinner with my siblings.
Too late. We gotta
taking them
go.
out for their birthday.
I had the last word.
We had a lot going on.
I had the last word.
And I will promise you,
There you
we
go.
had just dropped the car off. I did not even remember that we had dropped the car off. So when I pulled in the garage and saw the car missing, I freaked out.
Tasha, that's one of your flaws right there.
It's a flaw.
You can't shut up.
I'm a worry wart.
You can't shut up.
I'm sorry. But yes.
Hey, we'll see y'all next Wednesday.
We will. Wish us luck in the race tomorrow.
Wish you luck.
Me.
Who you got your money on?
Hot.
Let us know. More now, damn. 20 years of counting.
Well, you getting mixed up. I'm glad you got a couple of days off.
Power 100.9.
Oh, thank y'all so much for listening.
Share this feed for us.
We love y'all.
Gotta go get a haircut.
Find some love.
Shout out to Romeo.
Find some love.
Find some love.
And love. Yeah.
Find Rolanda love. Find Rolanda.
Find some love.
Hey, we'll see y'all next week.
And love.
Peace out. Shout out. Good job.
Yeah.
Bye, Angel. With that drop top too. Yep. Yes, you do. Thank you, Angel. What up, Roland? Thank you for tuning in. We gotta go get a haircut.
Yes, gotta go. And I saw Pops was on there.
Damn, I didn't even start it. Did I start the I didn't even start the